Hey guys, Andrew here. What's going on? So I'm going to start a project. I'm going to be working on this boat. I'm going to show you the boat here in a second. I bought this boat probably 2010 I think, and it's a 14 foot deep V aluminum boat with a trailer, and I haven't ran it and used it for about 4 or 5 years. So we got a couple things we got to do. First of all, we got to take the bearings apart, repack and re-grease the bearings. The motor, we got a 7.5 Mercury gas motor. We got to get that running, which it shouldn't be much. Just clean it up and get it running, you know, and clean up the whole thing. The thing's a whole mess. And then up on the tongue itself, where the ball hitch goes, it got twisted and bent around. So I don't know if I got to replace that or fix it. But we're gonna go ahead and give a walk around of this boat and let you see what it looks like. And we're gonna start with the wheel bearings here in a minute. A 14 foot aluminum deep V, and it is a mess inside of the boat. Just a bunch, you know, leaves and stuff like that from sitting around all winter, and some other stuff. Got my life jackets down there, and my motor with the gas tank there. Just some odds and ends in here. So the first thing we got to do on this thing is replace the bearings. Nice cut job here, like that. You'll see the other side. So I'm gonna cut that out like that to get the wheel off. So it turned pretty good, but I bought this thing in 2010. I never changed the bearings or anything. So I'm gonna pull these apart, clean the bearings up. If I got to replace them, I'll replace them. If not, I'll repack them and get this thing back to where it needs to be. And got some grease and all my tools for that, because we're gonna get ready to do that here in 1 minute. So here's our motor. It's a 7.5, get the glare off that, Mercury. And it does run. It ran when I got it. And see if I can get this thing. There we go. So, ooh. And it's sitting up on a block right now, so I can get to the wheel bearings. That's why it's all flopped and everything. There's a handle around here somewhere. There we go. So that's what the inside of it looks like. I'm sorry about the shaky camera, but you'll have that, I guess. And the carburetor's right there, and there's a little bee's nest in there, so that's gonna have to go. You see that or not? But when I first got this, I did clean this out. I replaced all the gaskets and everything in here, and the first 2 years I had it ran fine. So we'll probably tear this apart and replace all the gaskets. I also had to take the shaft apart, and up in here somewhere, or somewhere in this shaft, there's a little rubber, I don't know what you call it, but it circulates the water through the motor because it's a water-cooled motor. And that was bad, so I had to replace that, which isn't hard to do. So hopefully this thing will start up pretty quick once I get that carburetor cleaned up and make sure everything's working. On this, I might replace this thing here. This is, I think, the original one from when I bought it. Not the original, but the original since I had it. I never changed it. And we'll definitely have to clean out this gas tank. I think it's got stuff in it, but I think it's mostly water because it's been sitting outside for the last couple years. And what else? We got an anchor here. We'll have to replace the rope on this anchor. I don't know. And we got a fishing rod holder there. I put those in. And we got swivel seats for it. So the swivel seats are in storage right now. I'll pull them out later and show it to you, but they're pretty cool seats. It's a pretty comfortable boat. Other side, this is what I'm talking about. Someone tried to cut along here so they get this wheel off. But I think, I'm not sure who did that, but I think if I hook it up to my truck, this thing does tilt. So I think if I hook it up to my truck and tilt it, I think these will raise up enough for me to get this wheel off. So I have to cut that out. So on the other side, we want to end up taking that fender completely off and trying to make it look presentable. I don't know what we're going to do with it yet, but that's that. The last thing we got to do is up here. I don't know what happened here. I did this apparently. It wasn't like this when I got it, but somewhere it got cranked big time. You can see it bent over. And like I said, not sure if maybe I backed into it or what I did to it, but I came out, or it just might have fell down and hit the ground and bent. But it's just bolted in right here. 2 bolts going through. I don't know if that's the proper way to do it or not. And my chain looks like it's broken too. And I'm missing a chain on this side. Chain on that side broke altogether. So I got to replace the chains. Maybe take these bolts off here and just replace this, or I don't know what. We'll see what we have to do. But whatever we got to do, we will do. But first of all, we're going to go back to that wheel right there, tear it apart, and start getting the bearings pulled out of there, repack them, and get it set back up. We are working on this beast today. We are changing the bearings. As you can see, we already got the, I don't know if you can see that or not, the wheel's already gone. The wheel's sitting up here in the boat. Oops, hold on, we're gonna lose it all. We're losing it all. So the wheel's up there. We got the bearing buddy, the grass design, and the cap needs cleaned out. We got to clean off this shaft here, and I think we lost our Carter key, or whatever that's called. So we got this side to do, and then over on this side we also got this one to do. So we're going to do the other side first since we got it tore apart. We're going to come back over on this side and do the same thing. Pull the bearings out, clean them up, repack them. So in the back of my truck here is my bearings. And there they are, the bearings. And I might just have to replace these things. I don't know. Let's go take a look at them. So here they are. We've got the inner and outer bearings here, and they seem to work pretty good. So we're gonna take some kerosene, I guess, and get these things all cleaned up and see what they look like. But I think they'll be fine. I really do. I think they'll be fine. We'll clean them up and we'll use them. I got my bearings cleaned up here. Got my inner and my outer bearing. I cleaned up my bearing buddy, the cap, and my battery's about to run dead, so I'm trying to get the scene in real quick. And I went and cleaned out the wheel itself. Now this wheel ain't much to count, but it'll do the job for now. So now the next thing we got to do is start greasing these things back up. Grease them back up, put them back on. This thing will be done. Now there is some surface rust on this shaft. I'm going to take some sandpaper and get it all cleaned up and get these threads cleaned up and stuff like that. And then we're going to throw this thing on, so stay tuned for that. This wheel is on. Like I said before, I got everything cleaned out. Got the body bearing on, got it filled full of grease, got the inside filled full of grease, this plug here, and we are good to go. Now all we got to do is go to the other side and do the other one. So I'm going to get this thing down off this stone, get hooked to my truck, and then we're going to go ahead and take care of the other side. Okay guys, so that's going to do it for part one of me fixing these wheel bearings. I got this to tear apart. I'm not going to show that. I really didn't show a whole lot on the other side. It's not really a how-to video, but I'm going to do that. Again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, comment, like, share, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching.